If you think the world is unpredictable now, just wait until you hear this. The future might be even more chaotic than we can imagine. Martin Armstrong, a well-known economic forecaster, claims that the world is teetering on the edge of a global conflict. His predictions have always stirred the pot, but this one is particularly alarming. Armstrong created the AI program Socrates out of a desire to write software that could automate hedge fund trading back in the 1970s and 80s. He began to realize, however, that his code could also anticipate global conflicts. Born in New Jersey, Armstrong was encouraged by his lawyer father to get involved with computers in the 1960s, a hobby that fueled his fascination with markets amid the crash of 1966. He became particularly obsessed with the cycles of boom and bust, noticing that the same kinds of oscillations recurred across different markets. So, Armstrong built a global model in the mid-1970s and began publishing results in 1972, calling his simulation the economic confidence model. As he told The New Yorker in 2009, he found that the business cycle comes full circle every 8.6 years. In the 80s, I was in Geneva when we were all dealing with the OPEC money. I saw Japan starting to rise and capital began to flow to Asia, he said. Observing these capital flows, I wrote a program to track and predict where capital would move next, he continued. This work set the stage for some of Armstrong's most shockingly accurate predictions and the unwanted attention and trouble they brought. In the 80s, one of the top banks in Lebanon asked me to build a model, he recalled. I called them and said that I thought something was wrong with the data. I said, "The computer is saying your country is going to fall apart in 8 days. And my client at the bank said to me, "Well, what currency does it recommend?" And I replied, "Swiss francs." 8 days later, as Armstrong remembers it, the Civil War began. In the 80s and 90s, Armstrong briefed US Congress on the world economy, visited Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher in Britain, and he said the CIA sought his expertise in the wake of Russia's 1998 financial collapse. Armstrong, leveraging his AI system, has identified patterns suggesting that World War III could erupt soon. This AI system has been his trusted tool for years, analyzing vast amounts of data to predict future events. He also predicts that the United States will face a significant collapse by 2032. This prediction is based on a combination of economic indicators and historical patterns. Armstrong, who has successfully predicted major events like Japan's 1989 real estate crash and Russia's 1998 financial crisis, attributes his latest forecast to current political polarization and economic cycles. He believes that these cycles are repeating themselves in a way that could lead to catastrophic outcomes. He believes these factors indicate a major governmental shift is imminent. The signs are all there, according to Armstrong. However, Armstrong's credibility is controversial. Despite his past legal troubles, including an 11-year imprisonment for a Ponzi scheme, his predictions still spark intense debate. Some see him as a visionary, while others view him as a charlatan. In a world already fraught with geopolitical tensions, Armstrong's claims add another layer of uncertainty. His predictions make us question the stability of our current world order. Are his predictions to be taken seriously, or are they just a product of sensationalism? This is the question on everyone's mind. Only time will tell. The future remains uncertain, and all we can do is wait and see. Armstrong's predictions have always been a topic of heated debate. His supporters argue that his track record speaks for itself, while his detractors point to his controversial past. Regardless of where you stand, it's clear that his forecasts have a significant impact on public opinion and policymaking. As we move closer to 2032, the world will be watching intently to see if Armstrong's dire predictions come true. To understand the gravity of Armstrong's predictions, we must look back at history. The world has seen two devastating world wars, each reshaping global power structures. Experts argue that the conditions leading to World War III could be similar to those of the past: economic instability, political polarization, and territorial disputes. Armstrong's AI system has analyzed these historical patterns and current geopolitical tensions, suggesting that a global conflict is not just possible but probable. The potential collapse of the United States by 2032 is an alarming prediction. Armstrong points to economic indicators such as national debt, unemployment rates, and social unrest. Historical references like the Great Depression and the 2008 financial crisis serve as reminders of how quickly economic stability can unravel. Experts are divided on Armstrong's predictions. Some believe that his AI-driven analysis provides valuable insights, while others argue that it lacks the human element needed for accurate forecasting. Potential scenarios for World War III include cyber warfare, economic sanctions escalating into military conflict, and alliances forming in response to aggressive actions by major powers. The U.S. collapse could manifest in various ways: a severe economic depression, political fragmentation, or even a loss of global influence. Stay with us as we continue to monitor this developing story. The world is on edge, and so are we. Stay informed, stay prepared,